If we want to change the world, we need to change ourselves. A deep dive into the JackMa mindset. Everyone loves the idea of changing the world, until the world asks something back. We romanticize the headline, build the next big company, create a movement, fix education, reduce poverty, transform your community, make impact. But we often ignore the cost hidden behind that dream, changing yourself first. That's why this line, often associated with JackMa, hits so hard. If we want to change the world, we need to change ourselves. It sounds simple. It's not. It's a quiet challenge.
Because the real reason most people don't change the world is not that they lack intelligence, resources, or luck. It's that they don't want to pay the internal price, the discomfort, the humility, the discipline, the patience, and the courage to become someone bigger than their old identity.
This essay is not about inspirational slogans. It's about the mechanics of transformation, what it actually means to change yourself, and why it is the only credible path to changing anything outside of you.
1. Why changing the world starts as a personal problem. A lot of people think change is external. New policies, new technologies, new systems, new leaders. Those things matter. But if you look closely, the deepest changes always begin with someone making an internal decision that most people avoid. I will become the kind of person who can carry this. In business, the market doesn't reward your dreams. It rewards your execution. In life, reality doesn't reward your intentions. It rewards your habits.
When JackMa speaks about vision and persistence, he's not describing magic. He's describing the fact that you cannot build a large impact with a small character. The bigger the mission, the stronger the inner foundation must be. The world is heavy. It will pressure test your ego, your patience, your ability to learn, and your ability to handle failure without collapsing.
So what does change yourself actually mean?
It means upgrading your identity before you try to upgrade reality.
Because you can't solve a big problem with the same mindset that created or tolerated it.
2. The two kinds of people, blamers versus builders. There's a painful truth. Many people want the world to change so they can finally feel okay. They want the economy to improve, their boss to be kinder, the algorithm to favor them, their partner to understand them, their country to become more stable. Then they promise they'll work harder, behave better, take action, become disciplined.
But builders work differently. Builders flip the order. They change themselves first, then the world responds.
A builder mindset says,
If my business is failing, I need better skills, not better excuses. If my relationships are broken, I need better communication, not a perfect partner.
If my health is declining, I need better habits, not better genetics.
If my future is unclear, I need better clarity and consistency, not better luck. This is not about self-blame. It's about personal responsibility, the most underrated superpower in the modern world. 3. The first self-change. Stop negotiating with your potential. One reason the quote matters is that it attacks a habit many people don't notice: negotiating with their own potential. You say you want big goals, but you keep small behaviors. You say you want freedom, but you keep comfortable routines. You say you want impact, but you keep avoiding criticism. You say you want growth, but you refuse feedback. If you want to change the world, you must stop treating your potential like a fantasy and start treating it like a contract. A contract demands action, even when you don't feel like it.
Changing yourself begins when you stop asking, "What's the minimum I can do?" and start asking, "What would a serious person do?" 4. Self-change is not motivation. It's systems.
Motivation is emotional. It rises and falls. Systems are structural. They remain. A lot of people fail at self-change because they try to win using feelings. But growth doesn't happen because you feel inspired. Growth happens because you design your life so the right actions are easier than the wrong ones.
If you want to be more disciplined, don't rely on willpower. Build friction.
Put distractions far away. Schedule your deep work.
Track your habits.
Remove easy temptations. Create accountability. Start small enough that you can't fail. This is how serious change looks. Boring, consistent, repeated.
5. The JackMa pattern. Learn faster than you fail. JackMa's story is often summarized as, he failed many times and didn't quit. But that's incomplete. The important part isn't failure, it's learning speed. Lots of people fail and stay the same. The ones who change the world fail and become better.
You don't need a perfect start. You need a fast upgrade loop.
Try.
Get feedback.
Adjust.
Repeat. If you can do that without taking failure personally, you become dangerous in the best way. You become unstoppable because you don't need confidence to act. You act to earn confidence.
6. The second self-change. Humility that doesn't look weak. When people hear change yourself, they sometimes imagine humiliation. But humility is not self-hatred. Humility is accuracy. It's the willingness to admit, I don't know enough yet. My approach is flawed. I need help. I was wrong. The world changes when leaders can admit reality without ego defense. In teams, ego is expensive. In relationships, ego is destructive. In personal growth, ego is a cage.
Humility is what allows you to learn. And learning is what allows you to scale. 7. The third self-change. Emotional control under pressure. You can't change the world if you collapse under pressure. And pressure is guaranteed once you chase anything meaningful. The bigger your mission, the more criticism, uncertainty, setbacks, and stress you'll face.
Self-change means building emotional stability.
You stop reacting instantly. You stop being controlled by online opinions. You stop needing everyone to approve.
You stop quitting because it's uncomfortable. Many people don't fail because the plan is wrong. They fail because they can't tolerate the feelings that come with the plan. The world doesn't need more ideas. It needs more people who can endure. 8. The fourth self-change. Long-term thinking in a short-term world. Most people live like this. What can I get today? How can I feel better now? What's the fastest result? What's trending? What's easy?
But world-changing work almost always requires delayed rewards. Learning skills before you earn money. Building trust before you gain influence.
Practicing before you win. Creating before you get attention.
Investing before you see results.
Self-change means shifting your timeline. You stop asking, how fast can I win? And start asking, how long can I stay consistent?
Because consistency outlasts talent.
9. The fifth self-change. Become someone who can lead. Changing the world is leadership. Whether you lead a company, a family, a community, or an idea. And leadership isn't a title, it's behavior.
To lead, you must change yourself in a few key ways.
You must become reliable.
People trust consistent behavior more than big promises.
You must become clear. Confusion destroys execution. Clarity creates momentum. You must become resilient. Your mood can't control your mission. You must become a learner. The world changes too fast for pride. You must become service-minded. Real leaders solve other people's problems, not just their own. 10. The hidden truth. You don't find yourself, you build yourself. A popular modern myth says, just be yourself. But if yourself is undisciplined, distracted, fearful, and inconsistent, then being yourself is a trap.
A better message is, build yourself.
Self-change isn't self-betrayal. It's self-construction.
You are not a fixed personality. You are a set of habits, beliefs, and patterns, many of which you inherited accidentally. You can rewrite them deliberately.
And once you do, the world around you changes, not because it magically improved, but because you bring a different energy, a different standard,
and a different capability.
11. The practical blueprint. 7 ways to change yourself starting today.
Here are 7 concrete shifts that reflect the spirit of the quote.
1. Change your inputs. Your mind is shaped by what you consume. Content, people, environments. If you feed yourself junk, you will think small. Curate your inputs like your future depends on it, because it does. 2. Change your circle. You don't need everyone to support you, but you need at least a few people who respect growth. If your circle normalizes excuses, you will shrink to fit. 3. Change your standards.
The fastest way to transform is to raise your personal standards.
I don't miss workout. I don't lie. I don't quit when it's hard. I don't waste mornings. Standards are identity in action. 4. Change your relationship with failure.
Stop treating failure as a verdict. Treat it as data. The only real failure is refusing to learn.
5. Change your skill stack. Dreams without skills are delusions. Want bigger outcomes? Build bigger abilities. Communication, sales, storytelling, problem-solving, leadership, strategy. 6. Change your daily routine. Your life is mostly your days repeated. If you don't change your day, you won't change your destiny. 7. Change your self-talk. If your internal voice is constantly negative, you will sabotage progress. Replace "I can't" with "I'm learning." Replace "It's too late" with "Start now." 12. Why this quote matters in 2025 and beyond. We live in a time where people are louder than ever, but not necessarily stronger. Everyone has opinions. Fewer people have discipline. Everyone wants visibility. Fewer people want mastery. Everyone wants results. Fewer people want the process. That's why change yourself is revolutionary. It's rare. And rarity is power. In a world of shortcuts, the person who commits to real growth becomes unstoppable. Not because they are special, but because they are willing to do what most people avoid. 13. The real meaning of change the world. Changing the world doesn't always mean becoming globally famous. Sometimes it means changing the future of your family. Building a business that creates jobs. Creating art that heals people. Teaching skills that elevate others. Becoming the person your community can rely on. Breaking cycles of fear, poverty, or weakness. World change is impact. Impact is multiplied effort. And multiplied effort requires a changed self. Conclusion. The world doesn't change for who you wish you were. The world changes when you do. When you become more disciplined, you produce more value. When you become more courageous, you take more action. When you become more humble, you learn faster. When you become more stable, you lead better. When you become more consistent, you win more often. So yes, if we want to change the world, we need to change ourselves. Not as a motivational quote, but as a law of reality. External change is limited by internal capacity. The world is a mirror that reflects the person you've become. If you want a different future, don't wait for a different world. Build a different you.